यमुना तीरावनचारि यमुना तीरावनचारि जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय गंधर्विका गिरिधारी गौर हरि जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल Hare Krishna, welcoming all the devotees to this Srimad Bhagavatam class. We have just chanted our round, so I hope we are feeling full of energy and full of enthusiasm. So Srimad Bhagavatam class will continue till 6:40. So I'll try to cover up as many points as possible in this limited time. So we are currently reading from chapter number 11, shloka number 6. So the chapter is Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarika. So before we start, we will offer the praise. Narayanam namaskrityam naram cheva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. I will share my screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Srimad Bhagavatam 1.11.6, interesting chapter. Now Lord Krishna is entering into Dwarika. One of you can be my chorus. Natasmate nath sadangri pankajam.
नतास्मते नाथ सदाङ्घ्रि पङ्कजम्
Virincha vairincha surendra vanditam.
विरञ्चि वैरिञ्च्य सुरेन्द्रवन्दितम्
Parayanam kshema hichatam param.
परायणं क्षेम्मिहे चतां परम्
Nayatra kala prabhavet parah prabhu.
न यत्र कालः प्रभवेत् परः प्रभुः.
Thank you, Mataji. Now we shall proceed with word by word meaning. Nataha, bowed down. Sma, we had done so. Te, unto you. Natha, O Lord. Sada, always. Angri Pankajam, the lotus feet. Virincha, Brahma, the first living being. Brahma, the first living being. Vairincha, sons of Brahma like Sanak and Sanatan. Sura, Indra, the king of heaven. Vanditam, worshipped by. Parayanam, the supreme. Shemam, welfare. Iha, in this life. Ichatam, one who so desires. Param, the highest. Na, never. Yatra, wherein. Kalaha, inevitable time. Prabhavet, can exert its influence. Parah, transcendental. Prabhu, the Supreme Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The citizens said, O Lord, you are worshipped by all demigods like Brahma, the four Sanas, and even the King of Heaven. You are the ultimate rest for those who are really aspiring to achieve the highest benefit of life. You are the supreme transcendental Lord, and inevitable time cannot exert its influence upon you. But the Supreme Lord is Sri Krishna, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, and other authorized Vedic literatures. No one is equal to or greater than him, and that is the verdict of all scriptures. The influence of time and space is exerted upon the dependent living entities who are all parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord. The living entities are predominated Brahma, whereas the Supreme Lord is predominating Absolute. As soon as we forget this clear fact, we are at once in illusion, and thus we are put into threefold miseries. As one is put into dense darkness, the clear consciousness of the cognizant living being is God consciousness, in which one bows down onto him in all circumstances. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakeya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapatikamadam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sattvitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shahe Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Navam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Jai Pataka Swami Niti Namane Namachari Padaya Nitai Kiva Pradayane Gaur Katha Dhamadayana Kargramatarne Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Krishna Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaur Hare Krishna. So let us begin with the topic today. So in the beginning, I would like to, seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas, and also want to thank Matrapati Prabhuji for giving me this wonderful opportunity to, share some points from this shloka. The shloka is very interesting. Now, Lord Shri Krishna is entering Dwarika. So remember, when Krishna is entering Dwarika, this is the moment which many of the devotees in Dwarika were actually waiting for. They have waited a long time. So this is also happen. This also happens that citizens of Dwarika, whose king is Lord Shri Krishna, even they have to wait for Krishna. So Krishna's appearance is like a superhero who comes, and when there are a lot of people who are waiting, and then he makes his entry. So here Lord Krishna is making an entry, and we can see that connection between the citizens and the king. That is the thing which is missing in today's world. If we see in the time of great kings who ruled the country, they had a very good relationship and bonding with the citizens, and that bonding was so much important that they used to act like a king, and they used to do that as a service. They used to become king as a service, because their job was take care of their entire kingdom, and they used to give same importance to the entire kingdom as they used to give to their own family members. There was no discrimination, and that is the reason there was a reciprocation, and these people, they should love their kings. We have seen the example of Lord Shri Krishna. We have seen the example of Lord Shri Ram. When Lord Shri Ram was, he was sent to exile to forest for 14 years. All his kingdom, everybody, all the citizens were with Lord Shri Ram and were willing to be with him. It was very easy for Lord Shri Ram to, take over the control and, rule the country. like it happens many times, we want to take over the control, and we want to rule, we want to enjoy, we want to become the boss. But see, we see from the example of Lord Shri Krishna, we see from the example of Lord Shri Ram, that they were not interested to, to take control of the things. We have also seen in the examples of Lord Nityananda, who had all the powers with him to counteract Jagai and Madhai. But see, he did not use that power. It was very easy for Lord Nityananda to mention to Jagai and Madhai that you are making so much of fuss about chanting holy name, you are attacking the devotees. But remember, you are standing on this Mother Earth, who is in turn, residing on my one portion of, Ananta Shesha. So it was very easy, but see, Lord Nityananda was very, very humble. And we see in the same examples of Lord Sri Krishna and Lord Sri Ram, they were very humble. And no wonder the devotees, the citizens were loving them like anything, more than their own family. When Lord Sri Ram was leaving Ayodhya at that point of time, it is mentioned that, all the Ayodhya Vasis, they were going along with Lord Sri Ram, and they were ready to give up their house. They were ready to give up their house, and they were ready to go to forest and stay with Lord Shri Ram. So what mattered more for them was the association of Lord Shri Ram. That was the most important thing. Other things did not matter much. And that is what happens when the king is very pious. The entire kingdom is also very, very intelligent and pious. They understood the purpose of the life is to associate with the Lord and follow the instructions of the Lord, and not to accept any material benefits and boons, and stay away from the Lord. Correct? So that is the key point which we need to understand here, that the citizens were loving so much the kings, and there was a reason for that. So that was the example of Lord Shri Ram, and we can also compare with what is happening in today's world. You know, in today's world, we see when Ram Mandir came in Ayodhya, there was a lot of celebration and enjoyment. But when the results of election came, people were surprised. Ayodhya was one of the place where the government lost. The government who brought Lord Shri Ram in Ayodhya and re-established the temple. That was a very old issue. Many people were making politics out of it, and were using the emotions of sentiments of Hindus, and were ruling all this while. But this government brought Lord Shri Ram back in Ayodhya. But you see, the result was that even the Ayodhya Vasis did not support this government. So this is happening in today's world, and the very simple reason why this is happening is that people and their intelligence is affected by Kali. The Kali has taken so much of prevalence, that their mind is the people's minds are so much disturbed. They are not intelligent anymore, and they are thinking body as everything, and that is where they are missing out. So that's the point. The mind of the people is affected by Kali. But remember, this is only couple of years. Kali Yuga has progressed, and we see so many difficulties, so many calamities, so many issues, so much of depression, so many people committing suicide, so many illicit relationships, so many people doing gambling, so much of illicit activities going around. You know, so this is happening only in I think it is only 5,500 years of Kali which has progressed. But the Kali Yuga's actual age is 4,32,000 years, which means 4,27,000 years are yet to go. So if we calculate 4,27,000, which is yet to come, and the remaining age 5,000, which is gone. So I think if we take a calculator and calculate, so it is only 2% of the Kali Yuga which is progressed. I'm not very sure about it. You can check it, but I'm just thinking 5,000 and divided by 4,32,000 multiplied by 100 will give us, I think, maximum 2 to 3% of the actual age which is past. So this is the age of Kali now. So we can say out of 100, if the age of Kali is 2, if the age of Kali is 2 years, and we can see so many calamities. Just imagine when the Kali progresses, when the Kali becomes youthful, when the Kali turns 20. I'm saying 20% of the Kali Yuga is what calamities, what havoc we can see in the society. And that is again an alarming thing for us to consider, that this is the best opportunity Don't complain. Don't complain that, I am not having this opportunity. I'm not having that facility. I am having this disease or that disease. This is the very less, which we would have got. It is only 2% of the Kali which is progressed. And with 2%, we are facing so many calamities. Just imagine if we go 20%, 50% into Kali Yuga, what is going to be our condition? So it is going to be a very, very risky situation that if we do not take this opportunity very seriously. So that is how we need to remind each other. We need to cooperate with each other, and we need to, always ensure that we do not miss out this point that, with all these differences, difficulties and problems and office issues or family issues, we shouldn't miss this opportunity that I'm losing my actual age, and this and nobody is mine actually. Everybody is flying their own plane. Prabhupada says that they're flying their own plane. So when they're flying their own plane, they are responsible to land their plane. Otherwise, we cannot complain because of him, because of her, because of this, because of that. No, that's not going to be considered. So that was one point, why how the citizens' relationship was there with Krishna. In this shloka, many times it has been mentioned. One point which we all have been preaching, which we all have been trying to follow, and that one point is that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Remember, this is the one question which is being repeated in all the Siksha levels. Whether you write Shraddhavan, you write Sevak, Sadhak, Upasak, Prabhupada Ashray, Guru Ashray, whatever. When you're writing this question, the first question is, do you accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead? Now, this is the question which we need to ask ourselves, even though we are chanting, we are going to Hare Krishna temple, ISKCON temple, SNGM, everything is there. But do you accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead? This question is the most important question which we need to ask. And this is the reference which is given in so many places in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, other Vedic scriptures. You name it and it is there. In spite of so many references, in spite of so much of guidance, in spite of so many, devotees mentioning this, in spite of being taking birth in India, we still have this doubt, what is the condition of Indians? If you say Krishna is the Supreme Personality, they say, no, 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 not Krishna, Shiva is Supreme. Then some will say, no, no, Ganesha is Supreme. Some will say Mother Kali is Supreme. So like this is the condition of India in today's world. That is the condition of Bharat Bhumi. So it is important that we understand this point that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And not only understand, we follow this. When we accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, which means all other things will not take priority. Like I remember some devotees, they have their own rituals, their own family, deities, their own things. So when it is Janmashtami or when it is any festival in the temple, they say, no, no, Prabhu, I cannot come today because I have to do this puja at home. So this is not very intelligent, right? When you are going to temple and you are, taking association of the devotees and you are, standing in front of the Lordship, then what puja you're talking about? Sometimes we are attached, oh, this is my ancestors' recommendation that I have to do this. I cannot miss out on this. So see, these are all the hurdles which we are creating in the path of bhakti. Krishna consciousness is very simple, just associate with the Vaishnavas, give priority to the devotees, give priorities to the temple festivals. That is something which we need to consider, and not sit at home and do puja. Do you think Krishna will be pleased by your puja when you're sitting at home alone doing puja? And not only Krishna's puja, you're doing some other worship. So the point to understand here is that we do not disrespect anybody. We respect everybody. Prabhupada says that we respect even the small ant which is walking on the ground, which is moving on the ground. So we respect them also. But it does not mean that we give up the authority of Krishna being the supreme, and we say, okay, for me this is supreme, I will do this. So these are going to be the hurdles in our life if you follow different rituals, if you follow different practices, if you follow different standards apart from the standards which are recommended in Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So apart from our Sampradaya, if you're doing anything else, then which means we are not a true follower of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are not true follower of Srila Prabhupada. We are not the right follower of our Gurudev. It is very simple. Chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, associate with the devotees, read Prabhupada books, and eat only Krishna Prasadam. This is the basic, this is the important thing where we need to check out ourselves. If you want to know whether we are making progress in Krishna conscious or not, So these are the factors which will help us to decide, yes, am I making progress in Krishna consciousness or not? Simple as that. Krishna says, Sarva dharman paritejya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papibhyo mokshashyami ma sucha. So Sarva dharman means not only the religion, that Krishna doesn't say you give up Islam and you come to me. Krishna doesn't say you give up Christianity and come to me. No, Krishna is not saying that. Krishna is saying that everything, all other religions, which means all other rituals which you are following, the so-called rituals which is given by this ancestor, that ancestor. Prabhupada says that if somebody is following Krishna consciousness, then they do not have any other obligations. He mentions in first chapter in one of the sloka purport that you do not have any other obligations when you are sincerely following, the Krishna consciousness process. Then do this. If you're not doing this and you're thinking, okay, I will do this and then I will advance. No, it is not advancement. It is just fooling yourself. And like I was mentioning, we are only in the 2% of Kali. So it is going to be very difficult when we take birth in the advanced stage of Kali. And some people say, okay, Prabhu, no problem. This age, if I'm not able to do bhakti properly, maybe in the next life I'll be born in a devotee's house. Then I will do my Krishna consciousness properly. But see, that's not the guarantee. Suppose you do everything properly and you do a lot of charity and everything, and you are more inclined towards wealth and all other things, sense gratification. Then Krishna will not give you birth in a devotee of in a family of another devotee. Instead, Krishna is going to give birth to you in different other places, heavens, where you have all the opportunity to enjoy your senses. So Krishna knows what you want. So Krishna is not going to put you somewhere where you do not want to go. Correct? So when you go to heaven, and there 1 day is equal to 6 months of the calculation which we do as per earthly planet. So just imagine you are there in Swargloka for 100 years. So 100 multiplied by how many years it would have been passed when you come back and take birth in the planet Earth again. And then imagine what will be the situation. It is not going to be 20 years from now, again you take a birth, you get a new body. No, those 100 years you would have enjoyed, and by the time you would have come back, it would be like 60 to 70% of age of Kali. No water, no rain, no grain, no proper clothes, no hygiene, no temples, no devotees. 10,000 years only devotees are going to be there. After that, no. Just imagine what will be the situation. It is going to be worse than the tortures which animal face these days. You have seen these birds, sparrow, there used to be a bird. So what does the bird do? They will come down, and if there is a grain, they will eat. But when they're eating grain, they will see right, they will see left. They have so much of fear, anything can happen. So that is going to be our situation. And now also it is not very comfortable, Padam Padam Yat Vipadam. We can see this Padam Padam Yat Vipadam very, very clearly, that everywhere, wherever you go, people at the age of 40, less than 40, are dying out of cardiac arrest. There was a survey which I was referring as per PGI survey in UP. So that survey revealed that people less than 40 years are the maximum people who have suffered cardiac arrest and have faced death, in the last 1 year. So that is the situation. We do not have much time. We have to be very, very careful that whatever time I'm utilizing, I have to utilize in Krishna consciousness, and I shouldn't be bothered about what is people's opinion, what is the thought process of my my family members or my elders in my family, or any misleading preachers who say you follow anything but I can give you Krishna. No, these are the things we need to be very, very careful about. I was listening to a lecture of Prashant Mukund Prabhu, and he was mentioning that there is a transmigration which we follow, and like in the previous shlokas, we have understood that first we become the the creatures of ocean, then we take birth as a plant or trees, and then we become insects, and after that birds, and after that the four-legged animals, and then we become human. And human also we have 4 lakh varieties of consciousness. So that's the transmigration which we have to follow to just take a human body. And after we become human, Prasant Mukund was mentioning that people first become atheist because they were animals. After animal, if you become a human, first you will become an atheist. You will not have anything to do with the Krishna consciousness. Forget Krishna consciousness. You will not believe in God only. So those atheists are those people who were animals in the previous life, and this is their first life which they have become as a human. So after atheists, they become the worshipper of Surya Dev, because they are able to worship. Okay, Surya Dev is there. I can see sun god, and I will offer, my worship to Surya Dev. Then after that, they become the worshipper of nature, which means they take the worship of Durga. And after that, they become the worshipper of Lord Ganesha. And after worship of Ganesha, they become the devotee of Lord Shiva. And after worshipping the Lord Shiva for many janmas, they take birth as Vaishnavas. And even when they take birth in the Vaishnavas families, you will see in Gujarat, many people, they say Jai Shri Krishna, but they might not chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So in spite of that, taking birth in Vaishnava's family, it takes all the more time to become a devotee and chant Hare Krishna. So when you're chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, just imagine such a long process you have already followed. So after following such a long process, and if you don't make progress, then it is going to be a joke only for us, correct? Like I was, I was thinking one day that, when we get initiated, so we have an initiated name. And that point of time, if somebody calls us with our initiated name, then we will not turn because we are so much used to hear our own material karmi name. So for initial few months, we'll forget, right? So that happens because even though we are initiated, we have not understood the fact. And another joke with the initiation is that, we always remember our actual, the body's birth. I'm so and so, and I'm born in so and so. But people forget about their, spiritual birth, our initiation date. That's our real birth, but they miss out on their real birth. So that's the thing, because we are still in the bodily consciousness, right? We always want to know, okay, we are always thinking from bodily. I said this, I told this, I look like this, I am beautiful, I am handsome. Like that, the people are thinking. So in spite of becoming devotees, if you are just thinking like that, then it is not good, and after making so much of progress, we have crossed so many bodies, almost 99% we have covered. Just 1% is left, and if this 1% we are not serious, then we are going to miss out. And in the end, I just want to mention that there are so many problems in the age of Kali. We are always disturbed. We have so many issues, health issues, office issues, family issues, spouse issues, children issues. So many problems are there. But in the midst of so many problems, there is one good things which we can focus. And that is the shloka which is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, where it is mentioned, Kaler dosh nidhe rajan asti hi ek mahan guna Kirtanadev Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. So this is the final conclusion that, just by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with focus and attention, and not taking this Maha Mantra casually, if you're chanting properly, very soon there will be self-realization, very soon there will be reciprocation, and very soon there will be the joy of Krishna consciousness which will develop in your heart. So with this prayer that, we chant with full focus and attention, and we get back our enthusiasm in Krishna consciousness, and we get back our bliss, I would like to, take a pause here. If there are any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. And if I have committed any mistakes, I seek, forgiveness. Please do correct me. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patit Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Devotees can ask your questions now or make any comments. Hare Krishna.